It is time once again to take a look at the best physical PlayStation 4 game deals available right now. We've been pretty consistent with keeping you guys up to date with all of the physical game deals, and that isn't going to be changing anytime soon. So without further ado, let's just cut to it and look at all the great deals that are available right now. I'll start things off by taking a look at some fantastic deals available over at Newegg. Using a promo code, which we'll leave in the description box down below, you can save 50% off a lot of their games. This promotion is ending tonight, however, so if any of these games interest you, make sure you pick them up ASAP. First up, without a doubt, the best deal available as a part of this promotion is Spyro Reignited Trilogy, listed for $39.99 with the promo code. That'll knock it down to $19.99, and that is a phenomenal price for Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Even most places, when it does go on sale, it's usually around that $29.99 spot, so $19.99 is the lowest that we've seen this game for. You do have to pay $3 shipping, but still at $23, it's a great pickup. Of course, this includes the 3 Spyro games that were released on the PlayStation 1, completely remade, and they look and play better than ever. You've got Spyro the Dragon, you've got Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, and then you've also got Spyro Year of the Dragon. The games look great, they play great, even now in 2019. And whether you're just going into the collection for the nostalgia's sake, or you're going into it to get a great platforming experience, either way, this is a great buy, especially at this price. Moving on from that, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is listed at $59.99. That means with the promo code, you'll get it for $29.99, which is a great buy for AC Odyssey. This is the price the game has been going for when it does go on sale. This was the Black Friday price. It's the price it was at the PlayStation Store. But it goes without saying that it's a fantastic price for AC Odyssey. This is a game that's absolutely packed with content. The only downside to it that I could think of is similar to Assassin's Creed Origins. You really can't just bum rush your way through the main story. You kind of have to do some of the side content just because you're gonna be a little underleveled. But unlike AC Origins, I think AC Odyssey made a lot of strides in making the side content a lot more compelling and making it more enjoyable to actually take part in that. The entire experience is going to take you a long time to complete, especially if you are looking to do all of the side content. You're looking at a 50 to 70 hour experience here, and there's more DLC coming for the game. Of course, the season pass for the title is also bringing with it Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered on the PS4, so that's pretty cool. But AC Odyssey in its own right, a great game, and $30 for it is a no-brainer. And lastly, as a part of the Newegg promotion, I also want to give a shout to Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition, listed for $35. After the code, you'll get it for $17.50, which is a great buy for Final Fantasy 15. I do believe this is the cheapest price this has been for. Typically goes down to $19.99, but doesn't really drop any further than that. Final Fantasy 15 is obviously a game that's a little bit controversial. The game itself is pretty good, especially this Royal Edition. You're getting a quality open world RPG, and the Royal Edition adds a lot of content. All of the DLC episodes that probably should have been in the game from the get-go, but hey, that's why you're picking up the Royal Edition now. Of course, also included is the Comrades multiplayer expansion, which is a nice addition as well. For a long time, I was just saying gamers shouldn't even pick up the Royal Edition because there's more DLC coming out for Final Fantasy 15, but we know at this point the majority of that planned DLC has been cancelled. We're only getting Episode Arden, and I doubt that Square Enix is going to release another edition of Final Fantasy 15 just for that episode. So I think it's a great time to check out Final Fantasy 15, especially at this price. This is probably the version we should have gotten from the get-go, but hey, better late than never. So those 3 deals are the deals available at Newegg. Again, that promotion ends tonight, so be quick about that and pick up those games as soon as possible. Moving on from that, Best Buy has got a ton of great deals available right now. Starting things off, I want to give a mention to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. It is down to $19.99, $15.99 if you're a GCU subscriber. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory was released all the way back in early 2018, I believe back in January, and it's a game that held up in value for quite a while. It was still going for like $39.99, but it finally dropped in price, and now for $19.99, this is a great buy. The only downer to this game is that it uses a lot of the assets from the first Digimon Story title. It does have its own unique content, but you'll see yourself revisiting a lot of the same areas if you did play the first Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. Hacker's Memory is a pretty good traditional JRPG, and if you're a fan of Digimon, of course, it's going to be right up your alley. It's got a pretty good story in there as well. So overall, at this price point, I would say it's a pretty good pickup. At $39.99 or $59.99, I could see why you would be hesitant, but at $19.99, the perfect price for Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. Moving on from that, I also want to give a mention to Starlink Battle for Atlas, the starter pack. It is down to $29.99, and it is crazy how quickly this game is plummeting in price. This was a new IP from Ubisoft, and I always have to give Ubisoft credit when they do go for new IPs, and they've been one of those publishers this generation that have been putting out a lot of new IPs. Obviously, with Starlink Battle for Atlas, it was clear as day to see what they were gonna do. They wanted to create a game where they could monetize it for quite a while, and they could keep selling you these toys, similar to what Activision did with Sky Skylanders. I'm sure that's what Ubisoft was going for. Unfortunately, Starlink didn't really resonate with the masses. However, the game itself is pretty unique, and with the starter edition, you get a bunch of the toys in there as well. Typically goes for $75, but now $29.99, $24 for GCU subscribers. If you've been wanting to check it out, the starter edition at this price is a pretty good buy. Moving on from that, we mentioned this earlier, but Call of Duty Black Ops 4 is 50% off, down to $29.99, $23.99 if you're a GCU subscriber. A great deal for Black Ops 4. I think Black Ops 4 is a pretty compelling multiplayer experience. It's only a multiplayer experience, so if you're expecting a single player, you'll be rather disappointed. But if you're into the Call of Duty multiplayer, there is a lot to get invested into. Not only do you have the traditional multiplayer, which is pretty good, Zombies has a lot to get invested into, and then of course you also have the Battle Royale mode and Blackout. There's a lot of longevity to Black Ops 4's multiplayer, and they absolutely nailed that part. While I was personally disappointed by the lack of a single player campaign, let's be real, what's gonna resonate more with the mainstream audience? A single player campaign? Obviously it's a Battle Royale mode, so I can't condemn them all too much for that decision. And now that Black Ops 4 is getting cheaper and cheaper, $29.99 for this game is a great buy. And lastly, of the deals available at Best Buy, Kingdom Come Deliverance is down to $29.99, $23.99 if you're a GCU subscriber. KCD was one of the more interesting RPGs released in 2018. It did have its issues on PS4 from the get-go, but a lot of those issues have been remedied since its launch, and those issues were, of course, on the technical side. The game itself, judging that, it's a historical, realistic RPG set in the medieval kingdom of Bohemia, and again, it really nails that realism. Now, there is a little bit of a learning curve to the game. There is a little bit of a challenge. It's not a game that completely holds your hand, but what you're getting here is really good, and it is pretty compelling. From a narrative standpoint, a gameplay standpoint, it does a lot of things right here. I do have my inclination that at some point we might be seeing a Kingdom Come Deliverance Complete Edition, so maybe you might want to wait for that. However, I don't know that for a fact, and at this point the game is getting pretty cheap, so $30 for KCD isn't a bad pickup. Moving on from that, the lone Amazon deal on this list, Yakuza 6 The Song of Life Essence of Art Edition is down to $31 there. That's a great deal for Yakuza 6. Traditionally, the Yakuza games hold up in value for quite a while, and Yakuza 6 is definitely still on the pricier side considering it did release all the way back in April, but $31 for Yak 6 is a really good buy, especially considering all of the content you're getting out of the game. Yakuza has always been known as a pretty expansive experience with a lot to do, and Yakuza 6 is no different. Actually, it probably is at the pinnacle of that statement, and overall it's just a great game, again with a very strong narrative, which the Yakuza games are always known for, and with the Essence of Art Edition, you also get a very nice hardcover art book, and if you're familiar with Yakuza, you know that the art in these games are tremendous, so definitely give it a look. Probably not the Yakuza game I would recommend to start out with. I would give Yakuza 0 or Kiwami a look for that. However, if you have played Yakuza, if you enjoyed Yakuza Kiwami because it was a plus title, Yakuza 6 is definitely worth a buy at $31. Moving on from that, South Park The Fractured But Whole has hit a new physical low price at $14.99. That price is available over at GameStop. I've talked about this game often. I think it's a pretty underrated title. Unlike The Stick of Truth, this game was not developed by Obsidian, so I think that might have pushed some gamers away from the get-go, but the game itself is still really good. I think the thing that Fractured But Whole didn't have going for it, like The Stick of Truth, was that Stick of Truth was a surprisingly great game. Nobody really expected Stick of Truth to be as good as it was. With The Fractured But Whole, going into it, there was already a relatively high level of expectation set for it, and yes, it's a good game, but it wasn't that mind-blowing game. However, if you want a humorous RPG with some great traditional RPG mechanics, you find that here with South Park The Fractured But Whole at $14.99 for the game. That's a great deal for it. And lastly, Walmart.com has got a pretty good deal on Resident Evil 5 HD. That's down to $14.99. Now, I do have to mention that these games usually go for a lot cheaper over on the PlayStation Store. However, if you do want the game physically, these games rarely go on sale physically, so $14.99 for RE5 is pretty good. It's only 25% off, but that's the best discount I've seen on Resident Evil 5 HD, at least the physical copy of it. Resident Evil 5 itself is a very good game, obviously a game that's best played cooperatively. It's a game that was really designed with cooperative play in mind, so that's something to be noteful of. However, you can play through the game solo and have a pretty good time with it. The PS4 version also has some additional content thrown in there that was released as downloadable content, and I wanted to give a Resident Evil game a mention as we are coming up on the release of the Resident Evil 2 remake. The demo just released, everybody's in the RE mood, so why not get ready for RE2 by playing through Resident Evil 5 HD. So that's gonna conclude this video. As always, links to all of these deals will be in the description box down below. We hope you guys enjoyed. That's gonna conclude this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.